Watch this. A customer asks if something is in stock. My AI checks inventory, writes the reply, pings me on WhatsApp. I type OK, and the email is sent. No copy paste, no jumping between tabs. If you run an e-commerce store, you're probably losing hours every week to the same stuff. Answering repetitive emails, guessing what's causing returns, struggling with landing page tweaks, and wasting time building spreadsheets and other assets. Good news, OpenAI released its latest model a few weeks ago, and it's the first version that really shifts from chatting to doing. In this video, I'm going to show you 5 wins you can get with this model. Most of them you can literally do within an hour, even if you're not technical. The first win can help you improve conversions with a free store audit. And the last win is that inventory plus auto reply agent you just saw. So stick around for that because it can really show you how automation can streamline operations at scale. GPT 5.2 thinking is OpenAI's strongest vision model yet. It's much better at understanding how things are positioned inside an image. This is partially because it's also better at using tools. So for example, it can use Python to crop and enlarge parts of images for better analysis. Now, what that really means for you is that now you can start to rely more and more on GPT for tasks where the relative layout plays an important role in solving the problem. And the best example of that is landing pages. This is probably one of the lowest hanging fruits in e-commerce right now. Let me show you exactly what I would do if I were in your shoes as a store owner. First, you need a way to screenshot an entire web page, not just what's on your screen, but the whole page, including scrolling. There's a bunch of tools for this. I will use a free Chrome extension called Go Full Page. So you want to go ahead and install this. And after that, you'll see a small camera icon up here. Then you go to the page you want to analyze, click the icon, and it captures the entire web page from top to bottom. Right, so you can see it's right here. This one is my uncle's Shopify store, so it's in Hungarian, but that doesn't really matter. I can still show you what I want. So I save the screenshot. Next, I head over to ChatGPT and I make sure that GPT 5.2 thinking is selected. And then I simply drag the screenshot into the prompt box. Now I add my prompt. I'm asking the AI to analyze the landing page, identify friction points, and compare the site with competitors. I hit enter and now it starts thinking. You can even expand the thinking process and see step by step what it is doing real time. Alright, so you can see that after about 3 minutes, it analyzed the whole landing page. It identified plenty of issues like a cluttered hero section, small CTAs, and inconsistent visuals. It also researched the web pages of plenty of competitors and highlighted how they approach their pages and what they do better. Finally, it gave us concrete, actionable recommendations. Now, does every suggestion make sense? Of course not, but some of them absolutely do. And that's the point. You're not looking for perfection. You're looking for high impact improvements that you can ship fast. Now, I'm going to do one more thing. OpenAI says GPT 5.2 Pro performs better than humans when most knowledge work. Things like sales presentations, spreadsheets, schedules, diagrams, even short videos. So I'm going to test that claim. I add this to the chat and hit enter. If you click this little spinner here, you can see it is generating the artifact. You can also view here step by step as before. Boom, it took 19 minutes. I'm going to click download and open it in PowerPoint. So this is what it looks like for the first try. I'm not 100% impressed, to be honest. There are some visual display issues here. And this is really weird. Yeah, behaving really weirdly. It does have some cool slides, but in its current state, I wouldn't really call this a professional presentation. Let me just go back and try to ask the AI to revise it. So let's see how that works out. Alright, so to rebuild the PPT, I'm gonna download it again and see if anything changed. Alright, so this one looks significantly better in my opinion. Still not 100% correct, but you can easily adjust these if you want. And this is actually starting to look like a real presentation with a much clearer design and less visual issues. It took 8 minutes to regenerate and it fixed most of the issues. And just keep in mind that a freelancer on Upwork might charge hundreds of dollars for an audit like this, and you can literally get it for free just by chatting with ChatGPT. Even if the design is not 100% fine, you can still get a lot of value from it. OpenAI says GPT 5.2 has stronger more reliable tool use across long multi-turn tasks. And that matters because it means you can analyze large spreadsheets way better than before. Here's why. To analyze a large file, you usually have to load it into a tool first, like Python, then run the computations. And those computations are also utilizing tools in forms of Python libraries, like NumPy and Pandas. GPT is not doing any math itself because it's not particularly good at it. It's acting more like a coordinator. It chooses the right tools, runs the right operations, then explains what the results mean in plain language. Now that GPT is better at that tool orchestration, you will get a more dependable analysis. So here's a real practical use case you can try right now. Export your customer reviews, feed them into GPT 5.2 thinking, and ask it to identify the most common pain points and the key reasons people are returning items. Alright, so I've got a sample file here with about 23,000 reviews. I'm going to drop it in and let the AI do the analysis. And there we go. It found about 2,000 return-related reviews and group them into the most common patterns. Now I can check these quickly and then ask the model to help me turn this into action. We have some really solid recommendations, so we could go ahead and implement them right now to reduce the number of returns. Obviously, this is based on this data set, so your results will be different, but this is another quick win. Most platforms make it really easy to export the review and other sorts of data, and with GPT 5.2, you can turn that export into a clear action list in minutes. Now that we talked about returns, let me use that topic to show you something else that's also really powerful. GPT 5.2 isn't just better at using tools, it's also better at creating them. You already got a glimpse of what that looks like when we generated the PowerPoint, but it's not limited to presentations. You can create lots of other artifacts too, including Excel spreadsheets. So how about we build a dashboard to track returns and review insights? You can add a prompt like this and then sit back and watch it set up the entire worksheet for you. Alright, there we have it. It looks okay. We have a couple of tabs. They are all connected and interlinked with these fancy formulas. I know setting up a clean spreadsheet can be a real headache if you're not used to working with if functions and formulas. So using ChatGPT for this can be a real game changer. You just describe what you want in plain language and the AI will build it for you. And yeah, I'm being a bit lazy here, but I just wanted to show you how cool this is. Anyone who uses ChatGPT day to day has probably noticed that image generation got an update. There's been a lot of noise about it online. It seems like it can generate practically anything, and obviously people are having a lot of fun with it. But beyond making funny pictures, it can finally produce useful business content. If you watched my earlier video about Gemini 3, we looked at a few use cases showing how good Google's new model is for creating brand materials, product mockups, and more. This 5.2 update is clearly OpenAI's response to Google. And honestly, I'm surprised how quickly they managed to ship something that can compete directly with Nano Banana, also known as Gemini 3 Pro Image. I still have the prompts that I used in that video, so I run a few of them again. Here, I'm going to show you a comparison. First up, a packaging label for a skincare brand. This is what the Gemini version looked like. You can decide which one you prefer, but overall, both are pretty solid in my opinion. Next, we have an analytics dashboard. No major issues here either. The text is legible and the overall design looks great. The only slightly awkward thing is that this chart overlaps the menu section, but it's not a deal breaker. This was the Gemini generated version. Again, you can judge for yourself, but to me, they are in the same ballpark now. And here, one last example, a professional product photo for an e-commerce listing. This one is from Gemini. I think both are very high quality. Here's what one of the early testers of GPT 5.2 said. We collapsed a fragile multi-agent system into a single mega agent with 20 plus tools. Now, obviously, I'm not going to do anything at that scale in this video, but I do want to show you one really cool automation that uses GPT 5.2 under the hood. Because GPT isn't just something you can chat with. You can plug it into your daily workflows and have it handle tasks automatically in the background. So here's what I built, and I will demo it end-to-end in a sec. It's an agent that monitors incoming emails and detects when a customer asks about item availability. When it spots a request like that, it checks the inventory, finds the item and pulls the relevant details, drafts a professional reply to the customer, and then pings you on WhatsApp to approve it. If you reply OK, it sends the email. Or if you want changes, you just type what you want, like make it more empathetic or keep it shorter, and it regenerates the draft. Then you approve and it sends. The whole automation runs in Make in two scenarios, one that processes inbound emails and retrieves inventory info. For this demo, the inventory is just a simple Google Sheet, and another that handles the approval flow and sends the email. You can see these OpenAI modules embedded here and there for reasoning, and all of them use GPT 5.2. All right, now it's time to do an end-to-end demo so you can see it in action. I'm going to open my inbox and click new email. In the to field, I'll add my Gmail address, which I set up as the business email. The subject will be quick question. And for the message, I'll say, all right, sending this now. Now the automation is running. And there it is. I just got the notification. At the top, you can see my original email, and below that, the system generated a proposed reply, including the quantity from the inventory. Let's quickly double check the stock. Yep, that looks right. The only thing is I don't like the tone. I want it to be a bit more empathetic. So I will message. Nice, this feels much better. So I will reply okay to approve. Okay, message sent. And here's incoming email on the customer side. And this is just one example. There's so many repetitive tasks you might be spending hours on. Tasks an AI system can do autonomously, 24/7. And if you're worried about letting the AI run unsupervised, especially when it's communicating with customers, just add an approval step like we did here. You get the speed and you keep the full control. If you are interested in building automations like this, but you don't know where to start, that's exactly what I help with. Reach out and let's see what we can automate in your business. Link in the description. That's it for this video. If it was useful, hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment. Those really help the channel and keep me motivated. So thank you for that, and see you in the next video.